Since the dawn of time, there has always been Ood.
Would you like a cup of tea, sir? Ood are here to help.
They have come from across the stars to help you, to do whatever you need. Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's third Doctor Who review is none other than Planet of the Ood. So, what is Planet of the Ood about? Well, essentially, the Doctor and Donna land on an ice planet to find out that it is the home world of the Ood, known as the Ood Sphere. The Ood are telepathic beings that use a roundish orb to communicate with one another. However, they also have a telepathy that goes far beyond this. The Ood use this kind of communication device to help speak to other beings. The Doctor and Donna find a dead or dying Ood in the snow, who begins to say, the circle must be broken. The circle must be broken. And then the Ood goes rabid on them. After the Ood dies in pain and frustration, they then go off down to a base that they see at the bottom of a hill, and soon begin to find out more about the Ood. The Doctor soon learns that this friendly, serving race that he has met many years ago are actually slaves. When the Doctor realizes this, he becomes frustrated, but wants to learn as much as he can about the corporation to find out exactly what's going on. Whilst at the station, he finds himself coming into contact with a man named Ood Sigma. Ood Sigma is one of the top Oods who have been assigned to the head of the company. Ood Sigma finds himself constantly giving him gin and tonic, but what he doesn't realise is it's not just gin and tonic. But we'll get into that later. As the Doctor begins to walk around the base, he finds himself really interested to find out exactly where the Ood are kept, and that's when he comes across a bunch of Ood being beaten as they walk along the main section of what's going on. The Doctor then also finds that a bunch of Ood are being put in containers to be shipped around the galaxy. This doesn't only just scream the fact that they are slaves and servants to the system, but the fact that they are also being trafficked as cattle to the universe. This doesn't only scream the fact that they are being slaves to the human race, but also the fact that they're being trafficked. The Doctor then discovers that other Oods are also rebelling up against the people on the base, and soon there will be a massive riot. When the riot breaks out, no one in the base is safe and can't control the Ood anymore. After all, there are far more Ood than there are humans on the base. The Ood eventually manage to uprise to a point in which they manage to save Donna and the Doctor from being under the control of the people at the corporation. The Doctor then discovers that the circle that they keep banging on about is a giant Ood brain underneath the surface of the system. It turns out that that's the only thing stopping the Oods from singing and talking to one another. The Doctor then asks Ood Sigma if he can break the circle once and for all, to which Ood Sigma gives him the permission. Meanwhile, it turns out that our head of the corporation seems to be having a very, very bad hair day. He later discovers that this is due to the fact that Ood Sigma had been slowly poisoning him, but not exactly in the way that he might have thought. Turns out that he was slowly but surely turning into an Ood. This was a passive way of attacking the individuals at the corporation to essentially make them feel how it feels to be an Ood. Ood Sigma then points out to him that he will be raised like the Ood, brought to the Ood sphere and made to pay in a punishment much worse than death. He will live the rest of his life out as an Ood. Donna finds herself absolutely heart-throbbed and unsure whether she can continue travelling with the Doctor. However, she is very happy that the Ood are free, and the Doctor and Donna go back to
the Doctor's TARDIS. However, before they can reach the police box, the Ood Sigma has one last message for them. Your story is ending soon. All stories must end, but the story never ends. The Ood shall sing to you, Doctor. They will sing of the Doctor Donna across the stars. The Ood then begin to come back on the rockets, and the Doctor and Donna go off for another adventure in time and space. So, Planet of the Ood. What was my thoughts on this episode? Honestly, this was really gripping growing up. I was shocked to see that it is now technically considered as a one-parter, but I do remember watching it in 2 parts when I was really young. The twists, the turns, and most importantly, the way that the giant claw works is just absolutely gorgeous for its time. I feel like the Ood were very compelling, and I also love the fact that the person who voices the Ood also voiced the killer robots back in Robots of Death. It's good to see that Doctor Who is using its rich history of actors to bring them back and give them roles that are new and creative. The Oods themselves were always a bit of a laugh to me because their giant tentacles look like spaghetti. But I really love that uniqueness about them, the fact that they don't necessarily look like any other life form in the universe. Now, I have my own little theory about the Ood, about the fact that maybe they evolved from the Sensorites. But seeing as the Sensorites seem to still exist during the Time War, I'm not 100% on this theory. But I do love the idea of the Ood essentially being given freedom once and for all, especially after the way that they are treated as nothing more than second citizens in the Satan's Pit and the Impossible Planet. I really feel like we get to see more to the backstory of the Ood and see how they're treated by humanity around the galaxy. It's really harsh and a really brutal truth, but it reflects our own world and our own history. And I feel like that is why it's so important, this story, and for that reason I give it a solid 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, goodbye, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.